Alrighty guys, welcome. Very different from what we normally do, but we're gonna be planting some starfruit seeds, seeing and testing out how the hell to even do it correctly. I have sold them onto the side, but I've never gone out of my way to show it or learn how to properly do it myself. We just use Google. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to extract the seeds from this correctly. Again, with parentheses on everything. And then we're also going to use some of the already gathered starfruit seeds that we had prior. Let me see. Materials that we're pretty much going to be using. We're going to have some B-roll of the actual soil and stuff that we got. But again, these seeds have been here from last harvest, which would have been 6 months ago. 6 months ago, just a regular little plastic jar with a silica packet inside. We're going to have a fresh starfruit cut with some nice seeds. I don't know if it matters if they're moist or not, if they're dry before we actually put them inside the dirt. But we did also get a bucket, which this size I got from Amazon. And I have it written down because my memory is absolutely trash. This is a 16 by 6 lengthwise, 7 inches width, and 5.9 inches tall, or height wise. So pretty decent size. And got 3 of them because we're going to do it kind of like a test, right? And we got a little bucket here, bowl, bucket, whatever you want to call it. We're going to fill it in with soil. We're going to fill it in with earthworm castings and orchid. I don't even know if it's considered mulch or the coarse blend potting mix. I don't have perlite and I don't have charcoal. This recipe I'm actually gathering from another YouTuber entirely that I just randomly stumbled upon. I believe it's, what is it? Jason Plants. So if it works out, thank you. If it doesn't, oh good, just didn't work out for me because I am missing 2 of the ingredients that he did mention. So yeah, let me cut away really quick, see if we can get us some hand cam action. We'll go ahead and get the soil prepared first, and then we'll start chopping up the starfruit. So give me 1 second. All right, so for like all of the soil stuff, actually we'll start with the main base. All right, we got some of this Kellogg Organics all natural raised bed and potting mix. Heard that this is one of the best. Again, I'm not entirely sure if Home Depot might have given me like a bad bag or not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to assume that I know what soil should feel like. This is all new to me. We're literally learning together. What else is this? We got some Miracle Grow orchid potting mix. Look like that. And I was recommended also to get this earthworms casting. This is a 6-pound bag. This is the 8 dry quart and 2 cubic feet, or 56.6 liters. So this is like more of a bigger bag. I don't even know if I'm going to need all of this, to be honest, but if it does work out and I can actually make some more, then I mean for sure we'll just keep it around. So that's going to be all of that for like soil stuff. We're just going to go again and have like get a little trowel, or I think these are called trowels. Little shovel, little hand shovel. So I mean, I don't exactly have the correct measurements for everything, but it seemed as if you had like 1 part of the soil, 1 part. Oh, that actually might be too big of a chunk. Let me get this one out. I don't even know if we need that much. Well, actually, we might, just solely because we got to fill up that giant planter. So actually, yeah, I think maybe a little more. Because again, it's gonna be different for every single person, I guess. If you have a specific bowl or a Tupperware container or something else, it might be a little different for you than it will be for me. Let's get some of this earthworm goodness. So this part, we're also not gonna get that much, but we will throw it right next to it. You just kind of had it like in like a layered cake style. 2 of those. Right. And then we'll get some of this orchid potting mix. So yeah, so that's the orchid stuff, the orchid bark, or is it called coarse blend? So it just looks like some little wood chips. So we'll get a couple of handfuls and fill in the rest of the gap on the side. So I guess because it has to aerate properly, and I don't have any perlite, I won't do too much, but just enough. And then we're just gonna mix this all up. Honestly, I'll get a good mix off cam, but just so we can get a good idea. Again, this recipe did call for more, perlite and charcoal. Not exactly sure what charcoal he mentioned before, but I mean, we are missing 2 pieces, so I'm not going to be, too disappointed if our soil isn't as strong as his. But that's what I'm also going to do 2 different tests, technically. One with this blend, and then one where it's just the soil, to see if it's even really needed. Because again, can't believe everything you see on the internet. This is why we test. But you go, you get your earthworm castings, you're getting your orchids, and the soil. And it does feel nice. It doesn't feel like it's all stuck together, although we did see that giant chunk. And you can kind of see some more chunks in here. I don't know if that's like a telltale sign of something or not. Maybe there's moisture in here. Because it has been raining quite a lot, and the garden center of Home Depot did have some bags that were just covered in water. This didn't feel like one of them, but yeah, I could be wrong. All right, so the soil is pretty much done. Again, we just mixed in, eyeballed, but you just kind of want to have like one part of the soil, one part of the coarse blend, and one part of earthworm casting. Again, we're missing perlite and we're missing charcoal, but not a big deal. At least I assume not. This is again while we're doing our tests. Now, we're just going to go ahead and fill up our buckets. And then, it's always going to be a little different for everybody. Because look, that was just one of these buckets and it filled in like at least half. So I'll probably need 2 of those buckets per. And then fill in the rest. So I'm assuming it has to at least come up almost to the top. Not sure. That's where the best of my knowledge gets. So let's go ahead and make some more. Okay, so we got the entire bed filled up. Pretty much I think it's as high as it needs to be. Put a lot more of the orchid mix, put a lot more of the earthworm casting, and put a lot more of the soil. So I would like to hope that is more than enough. Now, I'm going to have to do this 3 more times, but I did pretty much almost use the entirety of the earthworm casting. Or not the entirety, I would say like 25% of the bag just for one of these. So if you're planning to get one of these, just know you may need more if you're going to have a crap ton. Because I think the pack on Amazon goes for like, around 22 bucks for a pack of 7. So you're definitely going to need probably a little more if you put as much as I did. Now, again, it could be wrong, it could be right, but this is why we're learning. Now, most important part after the actual soil's done is actually extracting the seeds. Now, again, these are the Starfruits. This is a 5-point. If I remember, it was called like Avaroha. I'm going to have the text somewhere in the actual video. All right, so we're going to have another little attempt. I had to cut away for the other one because we only got 1 seed out of that last Starfruit, but we're gonna try some of these. They're not fully obviously good. Still got some green on them, but you can already see here that they got some seeds in them. So this might be much better than the other one that we just did. Oh yeah. Oh well, I cut that one in half, so this one's a no-go. But I think I mentioned how fragile these things are. But you can see there, you can see the white. If we can get it to focus. Oh, a little hard to see, but we cut right through the seed. So that one is a no-go as far as I've been told. This one's nothing. This one is also cut right in half. So we're not messing with that either. Well, that's why you gotta be careful. This one has the juice in it, but doesn't have any seed. This one does though, so we're gonna cut around it. Actually, I don't even think you need to cut around it. I think we just go right here and push it out. There we go, we got one right here. I still prefer just using fingers, but a little hard to see. There we go. Got 1 seed right there. I'm trying to see if we can at least get 5. But that's why I got that second Starfruit over here, just to do a little helping out with it. There we go. Also had another one. So that's 3. Let's hope for the best. Don't cut through any of them. That's all I ask. I think this one has one right here. Let's go to the side right there. This one you can just push out with your finger. All right, there. Sick. All right, so we got 4. but it's all good. So this one, we're actually just gonna put all 4 of them. Still a little wet. We're gonna open ourselves a little hole with our finger. Let's see, actually. Space it out, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1. Put that right there. Maybe like no more than an inch deep. That's one right here. Let's dry this one off just a little briefly. Number 2. I think you guys can see that. Yeah, double check. Finger right there. Number 2. Number 3. Okay. Right here. And then number 4. Oh, in the corner over here. Oh, that's already attracting the flies, all the damn fruit juices. That's why I threw them on the other side. I was hoping that they wouldn't bother over here. But, alright, so a little hard to make sure that the camera's focusing on it when I'm doing it without some help. But, yeah. So pretty much, they're all inside. This is going to be the wet seeds. So the fresh seeds, the ones that are readily available from my tree. So we're going to put some water in it. And then we'll get the next one set up. Alright, so we got water, which is going to be approximately 2.5 cups, something like that, or 600 milliliters. We're going to start off at least with this just to see how the soil responds. So what I've read and watched online is that they said, 1, if the water starts to escape from the bottom, that's a warning sign to say, hey, no more water, please. But also, if it stays on the top like a giant pool of water, then obviously as well, that's another warning sign that you're overwatering. So we'll continue going until maybe I start seeing a little bit of water sticking around, but the fact that it went straight through, I think is a good sign. And so I got my hose. We're just gonna go ahead and do a little spritzy spritz to see until it starts pooling up with water. We're not gonna go too crazy with it. So it already took 2.5 cups of water. It looks like it's staying moist. And I don't know if I'm supposed to mess with the seeds anymore now that they're already inside, but maybe it needs some more. It's still, like, it's some of it settling, but right over here, it was, and it still went inside. So I'm gonna keep going until maybe it doesn't do it anymore. It's filtering though. So this one's a little slower than prior, but it's seeming to be doing well. All right, maybe that's a sign to stop. Maybe this one is good. Plus, it is gonna start raining, so maybe it'll get more than sufficient if I leave it out in the rain for a little bit. But maybe I'll leave one under my shelter so it doesn't get drenched or drowns in water. Because these also have little stoppers on the bottom, so you can actually take those out, and it has holes so the water will just come out. Maybe that also is meant for that, but we'll see. But it already went down. But again, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mess with the soil anymore once the seeds are settled. But y'all can let me know in the comments. I was kind of trying to rush a little before my camera died. I have like 5%. But again, this one is on vitamins, 1 inch deep, like kind of like finger over here deep of soil for the seeds, wet seeds as well. This one we already did is just the soil, maybe like this deep, like a 1/4 of an inch deep for soil, like literally just covered off the top for the seed. And then for the last one, found ourselves a nice little spot. I put it on top of a wood block, so it's not actually on the ground, so it's kind of like semi-similar with the other ones. But this one is also with vitamins. So the other one is no vitamins, shallow depth for seeds, just regular soil. The other one has, similar to this, it's the earthworm casting, the orchid coarse blend, and the regular raised bed / potty mix. So that's going to be this one mixed up, but with a shallow depth for the seed as well. This is going to be like damn near continuous sunlight coming from all day. And the other two that are just chilling over there are going to be half day pretty much, because once it hits 1 o'clock, the trees and the top of the roof pretty much cover those from like actual harsh sunlight. But that's pretty much it. You guys already got the gist of everything that I was trying to do, trying to figure out how to even plant these starfruit seeds to begin with. We'll also be doing another one. I'm just gonna put the dry ones in another bucket. But again, it's gonna be the same exact thing that you just saw. Nothing's gonna change. I'm just gonna be putting the same vitamins and blends, but I'm gonna have older seeds in there that have already been dried and basically saved for the future. And then the other one, I'm gonna use the same dry seeds, but I'm gonna put no vitamins, no orchid coarse blends, no earthworm castings. We're pretty much just gonna have a couple different experiments. We're gonna have some in the shade. We're gonna have some that's only gonna have like half a day's worth of sun, and then the other one's gonna have a full day's worth of sun to see if it really makes a difference either. But again, I'll take any and all criticism in the comment. I'm trying to freaking learn, so please, because I'm starting from absolutely zero. I have no knowledge on gardening, green thumb stuff, horticulture, none of this stuff. I'm absolutely a beginner, a noob, nothing, ignorant in the subject matter. But I would love to learn. And if anything, I think this can maybe be exciting or what's the word? Motivational. That's the freaking word. It took me a second to remember it. Motivational. So that maybe you guys can try to figure out something new, regardless if it's gardening, maybe it's playing guitar, maybe it's doing something, but don't prevent yourself from learning something just because you don't want to look stupid, because I think that's what my biggest issue was. I didn't want to look stupid. And regardless, I'm going to look stupid. So let me do it and figure something out. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you in like a progress video within 2 weeks from now, because I'm not stopping the TCG stuff at all. I just wanted to do this on the side so I can have something else to do, something to refresh my mind. Maybe like in 2 or 3 weeks, whenever the saplings start to break. Actually, whenever the saplings start to bloom, that's when I'll make another little, maybe a progress video. And then once we get to like bigger and bigger results where you can start to vary size and amounts and leaves and branchings or whatever they're called, I'll start making longer videos with that one as well. And we'll keep testing it out. We're going to do starfruit first. Then we're going to do cocoa plums after at some point in time. And whatever other fruits or vegetables we might end up trying to figure out. But I just want to figure this stuff out. I'm going to be writing my notes, writing my findings. And yeah, hope to see you guys all on the next one. See ya.